welcome to episode 72 of TerrorVision Horror Podcast Spoilercast. I'm one of your hosts, Dan McGuinness, and joining me on my midnight meat train is my co-host, Jennifer, the Dream Warrior Strand. Each fortnight, Jennifer and I set ourselves a horror movie to watch, and then we go through it, scene by scene, the next week, spoiling the shit out of it for you and everybody. It's a deep dive into glorious gore, hard edits, cheesy acting, directed madness, severed wangs, and compound fractures. We haven't had a compound fracture in a while.
Not for a while, no.
Together we are two people with a love of horror, with a passionate, burning love of horror, but we also feel the burn of our obsolete Blockbuster memberships where we can no longer go on a Saturday night in our pajamas and horror film.
Back in the day.
We'd just like to thank all of our listeners who support us over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and the YouTube. And also all the other things we're on as well.
Yeah, all these crazy things that have just popped up.
Yeah, so if you have listened to podcasts on anything, search for TerrorVision Horror Podcast. We're probably there. And we like to shout out to those people who interact with us over the past week or fortnight. People like Adam Gillespie, Dave Watson, Nick Chakudi. I think that's how you say his name. Leah Polatama, Chris Franks, Patrick Roberts, Michael Fiskin, and Tsunami Hija.
Yes.
Hija. Thank you to just a couple of people that have interacted with us over on our socials. We love you. Thank you so much for always just like, you don't know how much. Even your comments has pushed TerrorVision along. Not that we want to become like squidgillionaires, if that's even a thing. Squid gamey-airs.
Squid gamey-airs.
Yeah.
Well, everyone who sent private messages to us, just saying that you listen, that you're enjoying it, and just having conversation is really cool. Like, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, we have some people, I believe Michael sent us some pictures of some VHSs that he dug out. Just showing it off, a bit of show and tell, a bit of cock swinging.
I do like a show and tell.
Yes, I'm here.
More of that, please. We'll post it on our socials too.
Yeah, if you've got a special horror VHS that you've held onto for your entire life, post it up on our socials and we'll comment it on it.
Yeah.
We'll just say, cool.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we have a rating system, so you're not sitting there, like not knowing what the hell is going on. So at the end of the thing, you'll be like, did they like it? Oh, I can tell because they gave it a letter. And what are our letters?
So we have A is awesome, everybody should watch. B is our beer and chicken wing group movie. F is fun and dumb. C is a classic that's worth a watch. U is underrated. O, an overrated motherfucker. G, good for its time but is not held up. We've got the J, Jen special. The D, Dan special. We've got a W, whatever. Pfft. We've got the Kesha, low budget hot mess. C minus, craft is stellar but I hate the content. And of course, we have the McConaughey, the fucking fucked. The we watched it, you really don't have to.
We have the McConaughey, on our stickers, on our Ouija board stickers, and a customer came in the other day in my work and picked one up and looked at the picture of McConaughey and goes, oh, is that you?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, and then tried to read the word McConaughey but couldn't really get it, and it's just like, okay, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Clear out.
You just casually put the sticker down and left.
Yeah. So this week we watched The Hidden from 1987. As me, I chose this. Only thing I remembered about this movie is I saw it went like around about 1987 when it came out, and I think I saw it at a mate's house, but I didn't see it all. I thought, he just showed me a scene from it, and I was just like, it always stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Let's fucking do that. And it was a bit of a risk. I didn't know if it was going to be just a hopeless honk.
It doesn't matter. Risks are risks for a reason. Sometimes they pay off. Sometimes you're dick swinging. I don't know. So The Hidden is directed by Jack Shoulder, who famously did A Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh, that one.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Jim Quaff, I hope I pronounced his name right, he did the screenplay. It, of course, stars Kyle Damn Fine Coffee McLaughlin, Michael Nouri, and Claudia Christian. It also has a lot of really cool cameos from, well, I want to say cameos. They're not cameos because these people weren't quite famous yet. We've got Lynn Shade, Danny Trejo, all these kinds of things.
Yeah, they're just people working in the horror industry.
Yeah.
They're just like you buy a pack of actors.
Yeah, they're not
hire
famous
a pack of
yet.
Actors, they're just the ones. Yeah. And it was funny seeing like Danny Trejo, quite young as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a one
and
shot.
And even then he was quite old.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the dude's like, he is 700 years old.
He is, yeah.
He's
a vampire.
He's an elder god.
Yeah, pretty much. So the budget, it was estimated to be around $5 million. I couldn't find heaps of information regarding this, but the box office was around $9 million. So I'm gonna say it's not a huge success, but
yeah, well, we don't actually know the what constitutes as a success in films, because we've had films in there where you're like, oh yeah, they made they doubled their they got a bit under double their budget. It was considered a failure. And I'm like, but I feel anything over making money over a certain amount, over $1 million. If your movie costs $10 million to make and you make $15 million back, to me that's kind of a success. But maybe it's not in the movie industry.
Maybe not. Well, you got to pay all the marketing people, all your crews.
Well, I consider that
cast.
It should be in the
Well, that's what I
budget.
thought. You'd have that in the budget. I don't know.
All right, what's its tagline?
It's only human on the outside.
Oh.
When average law-abiding citizens suddenly turn to a life of hedonistic behavior and violent crime, Detective Tom Beck is tasked with helping young FBI agent Lloyd Gallagher determine the cause in this 10th sci-fi thriller.
So if you don't know, that young FBI agent Lloyd Gallagher, played by Carl McLaughlin. Is that you say his name? Like, as in...
Yeah, McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't know who he is, that's Agent Cooper from Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
That actor. So all he does is play quirky FBI agents in his life.
Yeah. If you're slightly too young for...
being an FBI agent.
Well, if you're slightly too young to have watched Twin Peaks, A, go watch Twin Peaks. But B, he's probably well known as the captain from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, is he in that?
He is.
See, I haven't watched that. So
That's fair.
Anyhow, let's get straight into this film, because this is a surprisingly fun film. It opens to like a black and white security camera footage in a bank, and it's like, old school. Like, we're watching this footage on a screen.
Yeah.
And this is like the credits. So it's black and white, and the credits come up for the film, and it's just one static shot. The credits are bright fluoro green, which I was like, good choice.
Yes.
And it's basically just the whole, it's got some doomy music, that kind of like doom.
Yeah. The soundtrack to this movie is odd and out of place, but I kind of dig it.
Yeah.
Dig it hard.
And you're watching this whole thing for a while. You can look away. You can go make a cup of tea and you come back and still the footage is on. And then you just basically just in the same shot, a guy in a trench coat. He's kind of been standing there the whole time. You didn't really notice him.
Yeah.
Was he standing there the whole time?
No, he kind of so it's just basically it's just a stock standard day at the bank. This guy walks in, stands there for 30 seconds, just kind of
waiting in line or
looking
whatever.
around. Security guard walks past him, doesn't really pay him much mind, and just all of a sudden he just decides that he pulls out a shotgun and
whip it out.
He's whipping it out.
He whips out an old shotty and starts shooting cunts up.
He does. He starts blasting the shit out of everything. Picks up a bag of money, which is just randomly on the ground.
No, I think he decides to pull the gun out as like the security guards are taking their bag of money.
Yep.
Their money with a $sign on it.
Yeah.
Symbol.
It was really one of those.
Yeah. And basically, so you realise that you're watching a bank robbery, which is kind of cool. I thought it was a good opening.
This was good. It was sort of
it's still in this static shot.
Yeah.
And then he basically looks up to the camera at us, smiles.
Yeah.
And shoots the camera. That's it. Done.
Great.
Opening. And I was like, damn.
I'm sold.
So this is like a minute in.
I'm in.
I'm like, oh yeah, cool. So the guy, he's in a trench coat. He looks like, what does he look like? He's just kind of like a normal dude.
He looks like Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah, he's got glasses though.
Yeah, he looks like just like an ordinary businessman doing ordinary businessman things.
He's doing a bit of a falling down thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, he jumps into a black Ferrari, and he gets in, and straight away he puts his cassette tape in and just starts rocking out the rock and roll.
Oh, it's some crazy good hair metal.
Yeah, hair metal. Yeah, I call it that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because now we're in a hair metal hot pursuit.
Yeah, aren't we? Hair metal. The police are chase, and I'm like, and I was like, dang, fucking action.
Yeah, straight off the bat, we just go hard, balls deep into some car chasing action.
I was interested straight away. I wasn't like, those bits where you're like, oh, I know they have to character development. Let's get through this until the actual horror starts.
Yeah.
This is like, bang, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, shit, have I accidentally chosen an action film instead of a horror film?
That's fine.
But it does scoot the boundaries between action. I reckon it's an action horror, which is, there aren't many of them, eh?
No, there's really not. upgrade.
And he's driving around and this is like some real driving they're doing. This like they've got this Ferrari doing fucking getting broadies around the corners,
doing some Tokyo drifts.
Yeah, drifting,
going
and shit.
around. It's really fun, and this goes on for quite a while as well. This isn't just like a very simple thing. So he's going like through town. He ends up in a park. He's going through a park. At one point, he hits this guy in a wheelchair, which is really funny to sort of watch because the guy just is like kind of doubled over and he just goes floop straight over the car roof.
Well, Ferraris are so low.
It is. It's so true. Because like the person wheeling his wheelchair just went, "Oh no," and jumped out of the way, but didn't do anything to help the guy in the wheelchair. It was such a missed opportunity for like one of those RoboCop style, like hitting him and all the gore. But I still loved it. Like this still worked super well for me.
And I think that was really like solidifying this. There's no morals with this guy. Like he will hit dudes in
Doesn't
wheelchair,
matter.
and he gets a little snicker. His cock rock's still fucking
Oh,
going.
yeah. It's hard. It's hard cock rock. We cut to a detective in just a suburban.
First, we forgot to mention this little bit. There's like two comical guys carrying a plate of a plane of glass across a road. Like,
This
and I'm like,
was
what is
perfect.
this? A comedy?
No, I don't care. It's like, hey, how can we make this car chase seem more dangerous
More exciting.
and more exciting? Plate of glass.
Plate of glass.
Yes, they did
Walking
it, and
across
I was
a
okay with
road,
it.
like if you're gonna if you're a glassman, I assume that you'd park on the side of the road where you have to install your glass, so you'd have to carry it across a giant highway.
Yeah, no, I'd be going in a loading dock.
Yeah, and he smashes through the glass. No one's hurt. He
No.
just smashes through
No,
the glass.
it's great.
And I just
I
thought that
loved
was
it.
that's comedy.
No, it is pure comedy gold. So then we cut to a detective in a suburban neighborhood, and he's showing a picture of the assumed bank robber to what we can only understand as being a neighbor who identifies him as Jack, a real nice and quiet guy who would never hurt a fly. But you know what? I haven't seen Jack in a week. He's kind of like missing.
Perhaps there's something hidden in him.
Yeah, maybe.
Up his clacker. Anyway, the police they set up a roadblock, and this is one of those police roadblocks. You know when there's police set up roadblocks, I'm like, why wouldn't you actually block the road properly?
It's really not a big old. They just park two cars. It's
like
sort of
just not
there.
even touching their noses. And yeah, the cops are just there. They have all got shotguns.
Yeah, then the detective rocks up.
The detective, which is just called the detective, basically in the film. He's the main character, the detective.
Yeah,
he's got curly brown hair of the time. You know that kind of.
Yeah.
He's shaven. He's a detective. He might have a bit of I don't know, what kind of nationality do you reckon he is?
I'm gonna say he's maybe Italian.
Maltese.
He's maybe.
And yeah, so that's who we got pictured. He rocks out. He just pulls out his gun as well. They're all just sitting there with shotguns,
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well, this is great because he comes sort of over the horizon. He sees all the cops that are there, and his expression it changes. It changes from this meek demeanor to oh yes.
Yeah, what?
He's like, I'm gonna fuck some shit up.
This
and then
shit's just getting good.
He just starts shooting. He just starts shooting at the cops. And then he kind of just whoosh, bam, straight through the roadblock. He kind of crashes through, but obviously when you crash into a bunch of cars, you're going to lose control and
Especially
you
in a Ferrari. They're not the most, they're not meant to be crashed.
Fiberglass.
Well, they're not that, but yeah.
So he crashes. He gets out of his car.
So
stumbles
he kind
out.
of just, he doesn't really crash. He kind of just
veers
stomps
off and
into the curb.
stops
yeah.
at
They all turn around. He gets out the car and he laughs at them. And then the cops just shoot him.
And they shoot
the cops
shoot
just shoot the car. All the cops. Number one, he doesn't have a gun at this point.
Yeah.
So he has given up. And the cops just all shoot his Ferrari until it blows up, injuring him. I'm like, bit weird cop policing there. Don't really know what's going on there. But anyhow, Ferrari blows up. He gets blown away, as in he kind of does a jumping away from an explosion, and that's it. End of opening scene. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and you're like, dang.
Yeah, this movie, it starts good.
This movie starts
strong.
great fun. And yeah, we cut to a hospital.
Mm-hmm. He's on life support now.
The guy, I call him. What did you call the baddie? I called him the hidden.
Well,
depending on who he is.
Well, I paid like real close attention to this film, so I have all the names correct.
Oh my shit!
For once,
you
yeah.
can say them once, and then I'm going to forget them and ignore them and use my names.
That is fine.
What's his name?
So his name is Jack.
Jack. Okay, so Jack Hidden.
Yeah.
he's in hospital. He's
on
unconscious.
life support. They're pretty much like, look, we got to take him back to the ICU. He's crashing. Like, he's not going to survive the night.
Yeah.
The
and
doctors,
all the cops just want him to die.
Yeah, they're pretty like, they're like, well, what would be the worst thing?
And the doctor's like, we got to, that man has a life that we have to save. And he's like, he goes through the list. He robbed 8 banks. He killed like 20 people, including children.
2 of them children. He did this. He's like listing off these things, and the cop,
and all that in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So yeah, it says if there's anyone that deserves to die, it's him.
It's this guy.
And then we cut to the police station. So we're at the old police station now, 1980s police station.
Oh yeah, we're in the bullpen. There's coffee. There's cocaine. There's I don't think there was cocaine.
No,
there's cocaine later on, but not in the cop
There's
shop.
a lot of like wood paneling in the building, so you get that kind of vibe. Anyway, cut to the police station. We're introduced to Agent Cooper. The FBI agent whose real name in the movie is
Lloyd Gallagher. I just refer to him as Gallagher throughout the rest of the film.
I called him Agent Cooper from Twin Peaks, Agent Cooper, because I couldn't remember his name.
That is fine. Yep.
Yeah, so he's playing the FBI agent, apparently the only role he can play apart from How I Met Your Mother. No.
He's in so many things. Do you not remember him in the Flintstones movie?
No. What did he play?
He played the bad guy.
Bad guy, all right. Anyhow, Agent Cooper, the wacky FBI agent coming in, he gets partnered up with fucking Detective Beck. Mm-hmm. That's his name, the Dreamboat, the Detective Curly-Haired Beck.
Yep, Dreamboat Beck. So he's like, look, I'm looking for Jack. Where is he? He's like, oh, you're too late, mate. He's dead in the hospital. He's in the hospital. He's not going to survive the night. It's great. And he's like, I need to go there right now. We need to go see him. Like, we've got to go. Yeah,
so he's like, yeah, let's fuck off to the hospital. Anyway, cut to the hospital, and this is a scene I thought was weird. So this guy has murdered 30 people. Mm-hmm. He's in a hospital now. Police want him dead, and they've just got him roomed with a random.
Yeah. Well,
like, he's not in his
he
own
obviously
room.
doesn't have private health cover.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, come on.
They're both in ICU. They're both in comas. They're not going
he's
anywhere.
Just in a bed. He's in a room with another guy in the bed next to him.
Yep. So he kind of like, Jack wakes up. Like, for the guy who's not going to survive the night, he wakes up. He turns to the dude next to him. And he kind of just pulls all the shit out of his body, like all the things.
The drips and IVs and shit. He's fine now.
Yep, he's all good. He goes and stands over this other guy, and he kind of leans over, and then this looks really good.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite bits.
This big old fucking slug alien.
First.
Like, feet first.
First these like big hairy spider legs come out of his mouth and wrap around his own face.
Yep.
And then out the middle comes this giant black slug. Which is the only... So it's like a slug with hairy spider legs. And I'm like, cool.
Sick.
And this thing is quite big. And it's stretching the dummy's mouth that's coming out of it.
Which also looks sick.
And then it goes into the other patient's mouth. Like, slime. It's great. So we're introduced to like the fucking sci-fi horror monster element of a thing. So the Hidden is basically a big old bug.
Aliens.
We don't know that. He could be
We don't know that. He could be a science experiment gone wrong.
He could be, there's
he
a lot of
come out of
nuclear
the
power back then.
permafrost. Yep, it's all good. The doctors come in, they see what's happened. They start working on the other guy. So Jack's dead on the floor. They start kind of working on the other guy. They get what is the thing? I completely forgot about it then, and I forgot about it now. You know, the thing where they're like, clear. What's that called?
Defibrillator.
Thank you. They do that. They jolt the other guy. One of the doctors gets electrocuted as this is happening as well, and he like wakes up the other guy.
Yeah, I feel if you got electrocuted by a defibrillator, you wouldn't shrug it off.
No, you'd be down for a while.
So now the new Hidden, he wakes up and he just bails.
He does. Yeah. As he's bailing, Gallagher comes running in. and the doctor's there, and he's trying to figure out like what's happened. He's like, we've got like one dead guy on the floor.
Detective Beck, yeah, he's like, what the fuck's going on?
The other guy just fucked off. I don't know. He's like, but there's no possible way this guy could have gotten up and walked out because like
he got heaps of heart problems and shit.
Yeah.
He looked heaps like he looked like heaps like Kevin Arnold's dad from the Wonder Years.
Yes, he really did.
It wasn't that actor though, but
No.
I thought it was at first. But so if you go, this is an older guy.
Yeah.
You know, one of those
He's
like
stocky.
one of those fathers that like if he probably has gay feelings but would never show it.
Yes.
You know those guys.
Exactly
That,
right.
like kind of that American Beauty kind of next door dad that would be like all about killing and war, but secretly is
a little bit gay.
Yeah, can't say anything because that's the time.
Yeah. He's also like that kind of guy that he's like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? And he's all like puffed out in the chest and they're like, I'm going to let you exhale first. And he kind of exhales and all his like gut comes out. It's fine.
Yep.
So we're introduced to this character now. He is Jonathan Miller. He has a liver problem, heart problem. He's basically dead man walking now. But he was a kind and honest man who wouldn't do anything to break the law.
Nah.
Fucking nah. Cut to a record store.
Oh man, now this is a fucking 80s record shop.
This is great. So 80s record store. He's pocketing cassette tapes like
Left,
no
right,
one's
and
watching.
center in the cock rock section.
He
Because
just-
clearly has this alien loves fucking hair metal.
Yeah, and who wouldn't? Hair metal's the best.
Hair metal and Ferraris.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
man.
basically Warrant.
I love it. So the clerk behind the counter, he's like, "Hey, buddy, like, fuck, like, don't do that."
Stop stealing my shit. And the guy behind the counter is basically Prince. So if imagine Prince coming up to him and he's like, wait, stealing my tape.
Hey, guy, stop telling my tapes. And he just punches the clerk and then just starts beating him with this. I'm gonna say it's a baton.
Yeah.
It's like a pipe.
Yeah, he just starts beating him. Like,
Beats him to death. Steals the money. Steals a gun from a register, kicks a fucking display window, and nicks off with a boombox.
a boombox.
And at this point, I'm like, guys, a boombox is not a toy.
You got to know your power, you know.
You do. You gotta know the power of a boombox.
It's true. So now the hidden has a boombox.
Fucking
Because
hell.
aliens, that's all they come to Earth for to get.
Boomboxes.
It's wicked.
I love it.
And that's it. That's the end of that scene.
So Gallagher returns to Beck at the police station and he hands him a picture. And he's like, this is Jonathan Miller. We need to find him. And Beck's pretty much just like,
Bex is like, nah.
you goofball. You're nothing.
Because, like, it is weird. Like, Agent Cooper's giving him nothing.
Yeah.
Agent Lloyd, whatever his name is. Gallagher.
Gallagher. Cooper.
Like the
It's
video
fine.
game, Gallagher.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, and you're like, Agent Gallagher knows what's up.
Yeah.
You're like, he knows what's going down.
He's not telling us something.
He's in the
He's
FBI. Well, the
hiding
FBI,
something.
they don't want to give away too many secrets.
No,
so
why
he's
would
just
they?
like, so we're like, get the impression. Okay, Agent Gallagher knows what's going on, but it's like, it's too hard to explain. You can't say that there's a sexy alien roach like getting in people and then possessing them and making them listen to rock and roll.
No.
Is this just a commentary on rock and roll?
Maybe. It's just every teenager now.
Oh dear.
Ferraris and rock and roll.
And now they get the call.
yeah.
You got a murder scene in a record shop. Let's go there.
Fuck, murder scene, record shop, damn.
Beck rocks up, and of course, already Agent Gallagher is there. And he's like, "What the fuck you doing here?"
Like, how did you get here before me?
Yeah, exactly.
We carpooled.
And the eyewitnesses describe the new hidden's identity. Mm-hmm. Kevin Arnold's dad. It was like Kevin Arnold's dad,
Oh, that guy, yeah,
possibly
sure.
closetedly gay, but he's not allowed to say anything because of the time.
Yeah. It's the times, man. So like Beck and Gallagher, they're clearly having like, well, I think Beck's having more of a bit of a dick measuring contest
Beck kind
with,
of like
with Gallagher.
gets his shit together and goes like, Gallagher, you know what's going up. Come on, explain it.
Yeah.
And then Beck and Gallagher's like, this dude, he can he's like a master of disguise, and he can he changes his identity into everyone's in on it. So
Yeah.
like, you think that was that guy, but he was actually disguised as this other guy. And you're like, okay, cool. I'm pretty sure though we saw that he was a giant cockroach. But anyhow.
The audience knows this.
But he's trying to like just sugarcoat it in a way that Agent Beck can jump. Detective Beck can jump on that and go like, okay, cool.
It's like
he's like he's like an illusionist or some shit.
He's a master of disguise. He's not turtle enough for the Turtle Club. He needs to go find him. So we cut to a diner.
Yep.
We've got loud cock rock playing, and all of the people that are in the diner seem to be a bit perturbed about what is happening in the diner. We see Miller sitting in a booth with his boombox on. Sorry.
That's the hidden.
Yeah. He's playing it loud. He's refusing to turn it down.
He just ignores everyone, which is wicked.
Yeah, he's just eating his food.
He's eating a massive steak. So he's a fucking living the dream.
He is.
He's got his boombox on at a diner. Don't you hate those people in real life that play their music?
Yes, because it's always shitty rap that they're playing on public transport.
It's never fucking wicked cock rock.
No, it's never something cool. It's always something bullshit that no one ever wants to listen to.
Yeah, it's yuck.
It's like I sampled these tracks with my bro in their backyard. And now we're playing
And I chose a speaker that, because it's not cool to have bass anymore. I can only have, turn up the treble.
Fucking yes.
Turn up the mids.
So this poor guy, obviously being the hidden or something's wrong with him, but he starts to have all these belly rumbles and farts.
His body's fucked, and he doesn't really realise that. It's so he's got no heart. But so he can, because it showed at the start that they can take a bit of damage if they're hidden, but if your body's fucked, your body's fucked.
Yep.
Yeah, and I didn't really understand this bit. He sees a senator on TV, and he's like, And my only vibe is that the hidden likes power.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I thought from the start, if he likes power and that, why does he just go on rampages to get busted straight away?
What's power? You driving a Ferrari, listening to cock rock, that's pure
But why
power.
does he want to be a senator? Because he'd have to do senator jobs. So he sees the senator, and obviously his goal is to get into the senator to get some more power. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't know how politics works.
No. Well, it's not about the power, it's about the campaign manager.
And the hidden realizes, fuck, I don't have a Ferrari anymore. I better get a new one. So he goes to a Ferrari dealer.
It's funny as well because he leaves the diner just randomly, leaves his boombox behind, and he sees this Ferrari and he's like, "Oh, I want that." But it speeds off and he's just kind of fat guy rotund running down the
he just assumes he can run after
street, but he's got a bad ticker as well, so he makes it 2 steps before he's like,
yeah, no. You hear his tummy rumbling. The bug, the slug cockroach isn't really dealing with his body very well, but he's still persistent. He's like, I still need a fucking Ferrari.
He needs a car.
So he cuts to the Ferrari deal, which he runs to.
Yes, he does. So this car pulls in. It's the same car. It pulls in. He rocks up and he declares that he wants it. The two guys.
The first time we've heard the hidden talk, he's like, I want this car.
Yeah. And so it's obviously a guy on a test drive and the dealership guy. And they're like, sorry, buddy, this car's taken. I'm going to help this guy and I'll come back and help you.
They think he's a wacko.
Yeah. So
you always get a couple of wackos and shit. They call out security to take care of him, and he
kind of goes to bounce the guy, but instead, he shoots him. He shoots him in the stomach.
Yeah, basically, the hidden pulls out his handgun. He starts shooting everyone up. He takes the car. Hidden gets his Ferrari. The 80s car dealers and the 80s businessman are doing coke and shit. They're stereotypical characters.
This is the bonitis. Cocaine's good for my bonitis.
Yeah, they're doing the deals to get the Ferrari. They're doing cocaine. They get shot. Yep. Everyone gets shot. Hidden gets a car. Hidden wins. Yep. Hidden leaves and goes to an antique shop.
Yes.
I don't know why he went here.
Well, so he starts...
Does he maintain the memories of the people he goes in?
No, so he's got the wallet of the...
Man he is.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's the wallet of the man he is.
But
otherwise
why would he have the wallet? Because he was in hospital with no clothes.
I have a feeling it's actually the wallet of the guy buying the Ferrari. I think he's just stolen all his shit. Mm-hmm. Because he starts cruising and he's leering at women. He's watching other people pull over and hey, baby, check out my ride. You get in. And girls are telling him to fuck off. So
he's confused. He's like, but I have a Ferrari and rock and roll. But this is weird because everything in the Hidden's vibe, he goes into a bank, he takes money. He goes to a regular, he steals stuff. He wants a car, he takes it, but he has to work out how to relationship women.
Yeah.
He doesn't just rape them. Which if they remade this film today, he'd just rape women. Yeah. He'd just get them. Which I was like,
At least you know that aliens have some morals.
Yeah.
You got to work for women.
You got to work to get the lady.
You do. So yeah, because he pulls out a wallet, and he flips through and pulls out couple of business cards. So there's one for like a strip club, and then there's one for this antique shop, which he decides
to go
to instead of the strip club. That's fine. Doesn't matter. While this is happening, we sort of get like a cut back between Beck and Gallagher continuing to discuss the case, and Gallagher's on the hunt because this guy's killed his partner, and we're sort of shaping up why Gallagher's really there and intense on it.
We also get like Gallagher's got a sweet Porsche, a 911 Porsche, and Detective Beck is like, they pay pretty good over in the FBI, and he's like, I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
He goes, what'd you do? Steal this? He goes, yes. Yep. And you're just like, it seems like a joke, but deep down you know that he like. So is Agent Gallagher really an FBI agent, or is he just on or is he an FBI agent that's just gone rogue because we've just heard his partner got killed by the Hidden?
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of questions. At first, I didn't know the answers to them, and I came up with around about a little bit earlier on the film, I came up with a theory which did pan out to be the thing, but I thought I guessed it real early, and I was really proud of myself.
I guessed it real early as well. Like,
maybe it was really obvious then.
Very, very early.
I mean, this thing is called The Hidden, but it's pretty out there and obvious.
Or is it? So yeah, we do cut back to Miller. There's a room full of shipping crates, antiques. He turns the stereo on. It's some shitty country music, so he smashes it. It's not cock rock.
Yeah, how good was that? Like,
it's like, what is this, John Denver? No.
Yeah, The Hidden just can't handle country.
Well, no one can.
I like it.
Oh, you like it?
Yep.
Okay.
But then The Hidden, because his body's fucking up so much, he's like suddenly convulses like he's having a heart attack.
He gets more belly rumbles.
He goes on, he's kind of falls down to the ground. He looks at his arm and like a fucking tentacle. There's that cool kind of like scanners effect, veins popping up through his like.
This looked great.
Yeah, and then like his arm splits open and a black tentacle flies up.
Yeah.
And he pushes it back in and then sticky tapes it in. And I'm like, is that his own? Is that himself trying to get out of his body? Like,
quite possibly. It's
like a reactionary thing, but he is in control of himself, isn't he?
I feel that the bug is in him controlling him, but he needs to find a new host because obviously this one is dying and he needs to get out before it dies.
Yeah.
So that's my assumption of the thing. I like that he just wrapped his arm up. I feel that he
could have just got anyone.
Oh, yeah.
Like the first person he came across, he could have pulled him into an alley and changed, but he just doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Detective Beck invites Agent Gallagher over for dinner.
Yeah.
Out of the blue.
Because why wouldn't you?
Because they're friends now.
They are. They're best friends.
They're best mates. So Agent Cooper goes to dinner. We see Agent Cooper like looks at pictures of Detective Beck's family and he lovingly kind of thing like, oh, look at the family of it. He looks up and looks at his own reflection in the mirror and he does this thing where he touches his face, which earlier on in the film The Hidden actually did as well, which we forgot to mention. He looks into a mirror and kind of touches his face and looks at his new body. Mm-hmm. And then Agent Gallagher does that as well. And I'm like, okay, it's obvious. This is a ham-fisted attempt to hide that he is also an alien.
Yep, he's hunting aliens. Which is so strange as well because, like, this guy is just in this house. He's walking around being a weirdo.
This is where he becomes a bit more dumber.
Yeah.
Up until this point in the movie, you're like, yeah, he could be a detective agent, but now he just suddenly doesn't know how to do simple things.
Yeah, so it's very clear that he's obviously one of those renegade young cops that are not socially aware. And now it's sort of becoming more prominent that he doesn't have social cues or anything like that. Yeah,
he was just like before that he was kind of like an autistic FBI agent.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's like just not getting social cues, but now he's just like, he's clearly fucking an idiot.
Yeah.
He also, so at dinner, he doesn't know how to use a knife and fork, he doesn't know how to eat and shit like that. And you're like, okay.
But there's this quick scene before they're sitting down having the dinner where they're putting the daughter to bed and he kind of just stands in the doorway and stares like a weirdo. And then they're like, oh, say goodnight to the strange man that you've never fucking met. And she kind of just stares at him like she knows what's up.
And she does The Shining with him.
Yeah. Pretty much. Like, she knows what's up. She's not okay with him.
Yeah, so she kind of looks at him. We don't hear any voices like in The Shining, but you can tell that she knows what's going on. And later on, he's like, your daughter is very special. Mm-hmm. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then at dinner, Agent Gallagher, tells everyone that, not only did the Hidden kill his partner, it also killed his wife and daughter. Mm-hmm. So now he's got super revenge.
He's got super beef happening.
Basically, it's killed everyone he's known.
Yeah, everyone ever. But that's okay because we cut back to Miller. He's now left his antique shop and he's in a strip club.
He's in the strip club,
'Cause
but he's
why
also
wouldn't he be?
packing guns. Oh, that was the other thing. The antique shop had a room that was full of machine guns.
Yeah, so it looks like the guy
He's
that
an
was
arms
buying the
dealer.
Ferrari was an arms dealer.
That was lucky.
Yeah,
Anyhow,
convenient.
Miller's packing guns in a bag underneath at the fucking club.
Yeah.
He's at the club. He's bleeding everywhere because his arm, his sticky taped just together.
Yeah, he's like face down in his little glass of scotch, and the bartender's like, "Buddy, the women, the women."
Yeah, also, you're bleeding all over my bar. And that's basically the end of that scene. So he's pretty much looking like the exact patron that should be at the strip bar.
Very much
Guns
so.
and bleeding.
Yeah. So a couple of beat cops rock up outside the strip club, and
like, that's a Ferrari,
and they're like,
motherfucker.
"Oh, that Ferrari is peculiar." So they call up in the missing Ferrari. Beck gets a call at home. It's the middle of the night apparently now. So he wakes up.
The only time strip bars are open.
That's true.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No.
The beat cops find him. They now know where he is.
Yeah.
The hidden, he sees a sexy stripper. He follows her out back, and she's like, "Hey, buddy, show's over,"
Yeah.
or whatever. And then we see him kind of
Attack.
go in, but kind of attack her off camera.
Yeah.
We don't see anything, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. But we know that something's up because she walks out of that strip club with some sexy purpose. She's like an Amazonian
She basically
woman.
dresses back into her strip gear.
Pretty much.
Yeah, she's huge.
She's big. Like, she's a tall,
Big lady.
sexy lady.
Yeah. So
She walks out.
She's an 80s lady. She's sexy walking out. We see in the background the old Chris Miller. What's his name?
Chris Miller.
Chris Miller is a skateboarder. The hidden's old body dead on the ground. So
Yeah.
we're like, okay, we get it. She is now the hidden.
Yes.
And, he's getting used to it. The hidden's getting used to his sexy body.
Uh-huh.
He's
Yeah.
like touching his boobies, like going,
Yeah, he's having a good old grope. Why wouldn't you? And a couple of lowlifes kind of like, walk past, and he's trying to convince her. He's like, "Hey, you want to come see my car?" Wink, wink.
Yeah, and then so she goes like,
She's
okay,
like,
cool.
"Sure."
She takes him into the car and basically bangs him to death.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really see what's happening.
No, all we can hear is him being like,
Oh,
"Ow,
oh.
ow, 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 ow,"
And
and
then,
then she just boots him out of the car, gives herself
steals the car.
another grope, steals the car.
Yep, cool. So now the hidden is late. I don't think she had a name.
I don't know. I don't think I gave her a
I just
name.
called her the hidden from then on.
So they're interrogating the dancers at the strip club, and they've never seen this guy before. Her name's Brenda. Sorry, because they're like, "Oh, there's no way Brenda would have like done anything or left with a guy like that."
Gallagher's like, that's him.
Yep.
You guys are, and at this point, Detective Beck should be like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah. He's like, no.
No, he's kind of getting the vibe now that we're dealing with something.
There's something that then he's not telling me. I need to know what's happening.
But it's all the proof is there that he's telling the truth, Agent Gallagher. So he's just like, fuck, what's going on?
He's like, we have literally got 5 bodies in 12 hours. You need to tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
But that's fine because old mate Brenda, she's in the car. She's having a bit of a speed down the road. And we get another kind of cockroach hot pursuit. Sirens go wailing. She pulls over. She gets out of the car. She's standing there and she's kind of like...
She's been pulled over by the police.
She's being salacious about it and they're like not moving. So she's kind of just like, okay, fine. And just pulls out a shotgun, starts blasting and then fucking hightails it out of there.
Yeah. So
it was great. But somehow Beck and Gallagher go from the strip club to being in hot pursuit with Brenda in this car out of nowhere.
Yeah. So they get the... I don't know how they know which way he is. Anyway.
I don't know.
Agent Cooper, they're in a car chase.
They're trying to shoot out
Hidden Brenda's speeding away, shooting back at them. Agent Cooper's shooting fucking out of the car. He shoots the tire, almost inhuman accuracy.
Yeah. Whew, accuracy.
She
great.
crashes into a dress shop, which is the most minimalistic dress shop I've ever seen in my life. It is just a concrete room with some mannequins with dresses on it, but there's not even a counter.
Oh, it's not a dress shop. It's a mannequin factory.
Oh.
So that would just be the mannequin showroom. Hey, buy this mannequin. It looks like Elaine Bennis.
I didn't know that at the time because it just looked like a thing. Anyhow, she crashes into what we now know is a mannequin shop. Gallagher and Beck, they chase her, and there's this, creepy fucking, it's a pretty fucking creepy warehouse.
Yeah, it kind of becomes like the boiler room.
Yeah, old dusty mannequins.
Yep. There's a lot of stealth maneuvering around a fuck ton of mannequins. The soundtrack is 100% out of place at this moment because it's just like, boo, kind of sounds like there's just like,
yeah, it's like
okay.
a like tension.
Someone's doing some experimental music here, and I'm kind of living for it.
The hidden jumps out. They have a gun battle in the mannequin. There's mannequins exploding everywhere. No one can hit their targets. They're just shooting mannequins, basically.
It's just fucking like pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, mannequins exploding everywhere. The gun battle eventually ends up into a chase onto the rooftop of the building. So we're up there.
They're having a shootout. Beck somehow...
I thought this was the end of the film.
Yes, so did I. But it is not.
It is not.
Beck somehow manages to fall over the top of the roof.
Yeah, Beck,
he's holding on for dear life.
He gets shot in the shoulder.
He does, yeah.
Which knocks him off balance and he falls off the roof but just hangs on, barely hangs on. Yo, shit, fuck.
Yeah.
Which gives Agent Gallagher an opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with the hidden.
Yeah, he unloads a bunch of rounds into her, but nothing happens.
That's what we should have mentioned. I like how the hidden can just fucking take damage. Like it basically doesn't feel pain. It just keeps going. You know what I mean? Like, so it's basically like a superhuman or a zombie or something like that. It's wicked. Pretty
much. So Gallagher quickly goes and saves Beck before he goes back for round 2. He's loading more bullets into her, and he's kind of like why won't you die? Which is great. Then he pulls out a weird kind of phaser.
I called it a ray gun.
Yeah.
So yeah, Agent Gallagher pulls out a ray gun. A Ronald Reagan.
Yes, it is the time.
It's some device, and then the hidden's like,
I'm not coming out.
He goes, I'm not coming out yet. I'm going to kill you first.
Yeah, and fucking throws herself. Not just like a little jump over. It's kind of like they kind of
run
launched.
And sprint.
Thump, straight through, over the sign, into
basically, the hidden's corner, the only thing she could have done is jump off the building, which she does and dies. Sacrifices her body.
Mm-hmm.
She jumps off the fucking thing. And because Agent Beck, Detective Beck has heard this whole weird conversation of I'm not coming out. What's this fucking ray gun?
Mm-hmm.
Which is it's very ergonomic ray gun.
It is.
It's very crafted around the hand.
It's fine. So the chief of police rocks up to the crime scene with his dog, and of course the dog goes and starts sniffing around the body, and of course we assume that the dog is infected with
we see her kind of wake up a bit and grab the dog, and then it cuts away. So you're like, yeah, cool, I get it. I would have liked a couple more transference scenes with the slug. Even just see her wake up and the legs come out of her mouth or something. Because we're like, oh, I get it.
Even if we got some tentacles from the mouth to the dog.
Just something.
Anyway.
Yeah, they didn't do that. They could be fucked.
Yeah.
Because the 80s.
So they secure the building. Gallagher finds the body, but it's dead. It's lifeless. He's kind of looking around. He's trying to figure out where it is. The dog is standing there and just kind of starts snarling. So, Beck comes up and he's like, it's not over, is it? And he's like, no. And he's like, well, you need to tell me what's going on. He's like, explanations are not going to help you.
Detective Beck fucking pulls rank.
Has him arrested.
He's just like, arrest this motherfucker.
It's great.
He's going to tell me what's going on. So Agent Gallagher is now arrested.
Yep.
I love that Detective Beck just shrugs off his bullet wound.
Yeah, he's just like, it's fine.
So not only did he get shot in the shoulder, he also hung off the building with that shoulder and then just doesn't care it there.
No.
He's like, I'm all good.
He's fine. I'm a cop. I'm a detective.
I'm a hard-ass fucking motherfucker. I don't have time to get shot.
Yeah, I ain't got time for this.
It's like the last action hero. Yeah. It's just a flesh wound.
It's a flesh wound.
Yeah.
So back at the station, Beck's on the phone to his wife. We now find out that Gallagher was actually killed a month ago. And this gentleman, Mr. Stone, has taken the identity of Gallagher.
So now we can't trust him.
No, we can't.
He's definitely not who he said he was. He's not an FBI agent. Who the fuck is he?
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. He's in jail.
Yep.
At the police station.
And we
he's not in jail. He's at the cells, the holding cells.
So we cut back to the dog is now staring at itself in the mirror because why wouldn't it?
Well, that's what they do, the hidden.
Yeah.
They look at themselves first to suss out who they are.
It's my cool body.
And then the dog ninja kicks the owner from behind
Correct.
So we see the owner, the chief of police, go in the middle of the night, get up to grab a drink of water from the fridge or a drink of milk, and someone just throws the dog at him from off camera. Like basically ninja kicks him into the fridge, and then obviously we assume that he is transferred into the chief of police now.
Yep.
Which is a pretty powerful job. You think he'd be happy.
Yeah,
but no,
well,
he
that
still
is
wants
pretty
to be-
powerful.
He still wants to be a low-ranking senator.
Senator on the campaign to be president.
He wants to, I want to run New York.
I want to rock. So we cut back to Beck is interrogating Gallagher, and he starts talking like, you know, it's aliens. You can only kill it when it's between bodies. I need my weapon. I need all this stuff. Like, you're just not gonna understand. I don't want to freak you out. And he's basically like,
Agent Gallagher tells Beck that he's an alien as well. Doesn't he? You know, I've been chasing him through all these worlds and blah, blah, blah.
And he's like, I've tracked him
and
down.
at this point, I still didn't know whether he was the same type of alien.
Yeah.
Because I thought up until a certain point that he was a same creature, like he was a bug. Because even the hidden at one stage says, like, we're the same. But I'm like, you're not.
You're not. You're different. But, you know, he's saying all this stuff, so they lock him up.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? You're a fucking idiot.
That's fine.
Lock you up.
The chief of police, he walks in the station looking like an absolute grumpy guts. He kind of ponders for a moment. And while this is happening, they're in the lab testing this phaser. And, of course, the phaser goes off. It blows a hole through the wall.
They've got a lab, like a science lab in a downtown, like...
But I also like that all of the evidence is just, like, chucked on a shelf.
In a sandwich bag?
Yeah. It's like, ugh. That's fine.
Yeah, there's no evidence room or locker room or anything like that. It's just like evidence is just on one of those Bunnings shelves.
Yeah, pretty much. So the phaser goes off, but both Gallagher and the chief of police, they sense it happening. And the lieutenant the chief of police, he's now like, he's on a
basically
mission.
shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Like, you blow a wall up in a police station in the 80s and people just start shooting the sky.
That's what happens.
So the hidden runs into shit's going down, like pandemonium. The hidden uses this opportunity. He runs in and grabs the ray gun. He's like, oh, fucking take that gun.
And he decides that he wants to go and talk to Gallagher. And he instructs Beck to take him to Gallagher.
Yeah. So he's got him hostage and with the gun in the side kind of thing. So straight away, like and the hidden says to Detective Beck, like, I've already shot you once. I can shoot you again, like, and then he's like, what the fuck?
He's like, huh? What I love about this scene as well, though, is because as they're walking down this hall, there are two other cops trailing behind them, doing the worst stealth hiding behind shit thing ever. It's almost so comical. I can't even remember what it's from, but
but then the two cops shoot the hidden because, like, they can see that he's holding the guy hostage. Mm-hmm. So Detective Beck kind of jumps out of the way. The cops shoot the hidden. He kind of goes down. But then, like, they come up to investigate, and then the hidden wakes up because he's faking it. Yeah. And he shoots the cop in the dick. Yeah. Blasts his balls. I was like, yeah, shoot that dick.
So Beck snatches the phaser and he makes a break for it. He goes off and he rescues Gallagher, hands in the phaser, and then, of course...
Rescues? I mean, gets him out of the jail.
Yeah. So, the chief of police...
He believes his alien story now.
Yeah, he's all for it. Chief of police rocks up and he blasts the door down with a fucking grenade. Mm-hmm. And then there's another shootout. Then we get a really nice little Danny Trejo cameo, which is he's in the cell. He's like, let me out. Like, if you letting
he's
everyone
like, hey,
out.
man, let me out.
Yeah.
End of shot. No more Danny Trejo in the rest of the film.
But instead, we get a fucking rocket launcher and he fucking rocket launches the fuck out of there. We get this trail of blood. So we're under the assumption that he's about to change. He's about to transfer himself.
But we also
into
get a bit
body.
of dialogue between Gallagher and the hidden, where the hidden's like, he's like, oh, you're a filthy, whatever he calls him, an Artraxian or some bullshit like that.
Artisanal or
just
something.
some like, insert fucking alien sounding name with A's and X's in it.
Yeah, always works.
And R's and Q's and all the cool letters.
Ataraxia.
Yeah.
Ataraxia.
Some like, new metal fucking like emo band, like lead singer name or something like that.
I love it.
Abraxas.
Abraxas, yes.
Anyhow, they get a little bit of dialogue together talking about that, jumping into bodies and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And so
So they go on the blood trail, the hunt of the blood trail to find the chief of police.
And the chief of police has already had like 10 bullets in him at this point.
He's
So he
been
takes
shot.
damage.
So they rock up and Chief is down. He's down for the count and they're like, who's been in this room? It's another cop, Willis. He's the new suspect. And we basically just cut straight from that to this cavalcade at City Hall. The senator is on his way to make a speech, and Willis is now trailing behind him.
Yeah, so Willis was foreshadowed earlier in the film as being Beck's friend.
Yep.
He was like his kind of like, you know,
He's
wacky kind of co-worker. You know, the guy that says the snarky comments and stuff like that. But they were kind of friends. So
Yeah.
And he's an actor. Like, he's in heaps of shit
He
as well.
is in heaps of shit.
So now the hidden, is now in Beck's mate.
Shit's going down. So Beck and Gallagher rock up to the city hall and they're calling assassin. They're like, there is an assassin here. You've got to clear everyone out. And of course, Willis sees that and he starts shooting cops and making a run for it. So we get another shootout, which is fantastic. So we get...
because the hidden at this point doesn't even try and dodge bullets.
No, he's just like, well, I'm close enough.
He's like, I'm going to transfer bodies and say, who cares how much damage this body gets? He's not even like ducking behind walls. He's just taking bullets from hundreds of cops.
This is fantastic as well. So there's like another chase, there's another shoot. I'm like, damn, action films are great. They're so good. So they kind of like running through this kitchen. Willis turns, he puts 2 into Beck's gut and he goes down. At this point, Willis makes his way to the senator, and we're under the assumption now Willis is down and the senator is being moved out.
Well, there was a lady hidden in the cupboard as well.
Yeah, so the campaign manager played by Lin Shaye.
But like, I thought they were going to go somewhere with that, as in like we thought he was in the hidden, but he was actually in her.
Yeah, I honestly thought that would have been better.
Yeah, but like they didn't do anything with that. Like, and she never even like mentioned that she saw what happened or anything. Like, and I was like, why was she even in the cupboard?
Because that's what you would do. You would go into her and assume because they would think you'd be for the senator.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is we're smarter than that.
And also Beck, Detective Beck gets shot twice in this situation in the stomach. So he's out now.
He's done. He's done for. So Gallagher is now in pursuit.
The hidden, like, as he's leaving in the senator, looks back at Gallagher and kind of like, he sticks his tongue out at him.
Yeah, he does. It happens a lot. He kind of like, it's almost in like in the Super Mario Brothers movie where the dinosaurs, and he's just always like, licking.
So the hidden's let Agent Gallagher know, like, I fucking did it.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. I'm a senator now.
What are you gonna do? I've got all these people around me protecting me. Gallagher goes back to Beck. He kind of like,
he gets put into an ambulance.
Yeah, Beck's not dead yet, but he's like, man, we got him, just in case. I don't know. That's nice. We cut to a Q&A session with the senator. He announces his plans to be president.
President of the world.
Gallagher bursts in and we get this really great slow motion shootout.
No, yeah, kind of thing. He's running. He's got a duffel bag, which is always a weapon bag in these films.
Yep.
What's in the weapon? Probably the weapon that was foreshadowed earlier in the film that we didn't mention.
Oh, we didn't mention that. Fuck.
Anyhow,
yes.
Agent Cooper dodges bullets somehow, gets into the middle of the room, gets into his bag in slow motion and pulls out a fucking flamethrower.
I can't believe we fucking... Because it was so ham-fisted.
Yeah, they mentioned... That's the only weapon they mentioned earlier on in the evidence room. They're like, look at this flamethrower that we got off of some kid.
I just picked this up off some guy on the street. Some guy on the street. Fuck! Oh, we fucked it.
It doesn't matter. I thought about adding that in, but I was like, it doesn't matter because it seemed like it was so stupid.
It was so ham.
Anyhow, he fucking flames on. Flame on! He fucking chards up the corpse. He makes it into a blackened mess of fucking shit.
This looks good.
Everyone's like, holy shit, that dude just fried the fucking senator. Oh, the police come in around him with guns. I don't know why they didn't just shoot him straight away. But then a lady goes, oh my God, look at that! And we look at the charred corpse and we see Sluggo come out like going, yelling. Yeah. As in like, so everyone's seen this alien come out of the senator. You're all like, what?
Yeah.
And then Gallagher pulls out his fucking ray gun, his sexy, like, ergonomic ray gun. and buzzes the hidden, and it explodes. Movie explodes with the slime everywhere. Like they just got the model and just filled it with fucking explosives.
Yeah. Should have been done from like 10 different angles at 10 different times. So it's just like...
We should also mention that the ray gun only worked on the hidden's body when he was outside his body. He proves that earlier on in the thing where he shoots Detective Beck with it, and it does nothing. So he has to wait. He has to damage it enough so it has to change. He can only get it going between bodies, which is makes it so hard to catch.
Yep.
What a go. But I was like, still like, so what happened? Like, why did they just go, oh shit, he was an alien. I guess you're okay. I guess it's fine that you charred that guy's corpse because he clearly was an alien. But you blew up the alien, so there's nothing left of the alien. But we all saw it. You're okay in my book.
Well, I mean, we cut now to the hospital. So Gallagher is in the hospital. He's been shot up, so he's obviously
he's on life support. He's unconscious.
But Gallagher goes in to see Beck. Now Beck is on life support, and as he walks in, he starts flatlining. Yeah. So I'm under the assumption that he should have been in this hospital under protective care because he's about to be arrested when he wakes up. But instead, no one's watching him. So he gets up. He walks in, and just as Beck's flatlining, he transmits...
He opens his mouth, and we're expecting to see another alien bug come out of his mouth to transfer his body into his. But instead, we see sexy golden beams of light come out of his mouth.
The exact same that came out of the phaser, his ray gun. So I'm assuming he's transferring his life force into Beck. Of course, doctors and everyone come running in, and they find him dead on the floor.
Yeah, Agent Gallagher is dead on the floor.
But Beck is okay.
He's sitting up. He's fine. Presumably just shrugged off all his internal injuries.
His wife is happy. Everyone's happy. And his daughter isn't convinced.
Is sus on him. But I didn't know in the end, like, did he just transfer his life force, or did he become him?
Oh, that's a very good point.
I like that they didn't give us anything, because it could have been a life force, because it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then that's the end.
Done.
Bang. And you're like, well, good question ending. I wonder if they did a hidden 2.
Maybe.
Can we look that up?
Let's
look that up live on the podcast.
Do it live.
Hidden
So
2.
While you're looking into that.
There is.
Oh my God.
Hidden 2, made in 1993.
Oh.
Who does it star? It stars the same Dreamboat. Oh, no. Oh. Michael Nord.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
That's Beck.
Yeah, so he's in it again. And that's it.
Oh.
Maybe. I remember this cover, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where it went.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I'll Google it.
That one.
Yep. Spin it.
You remember?
Oh.
Anyhow.
That's great.
There is another hidden. There was also a TV show.
Fuck yeah, I'm going to track it all down.
You're going to get all over this
Weekend sorted.
But is there a hidden 3 is the question.
Well, is there plans for a remake and a HBO series? Who knows? What is happening? Anyway, Dan, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is heaps better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
My mum watched it again with me, of course, and she goes, that was really good. Not like all the other crap you usually watch.
Thanks, Mom.
I was a bit concerned it was a bit more of an action film than a horror film, but it had those horror elements. There was heaps of gore and, blasting. It's like that 80s gun horror that people love. The monster wasn't in it enough, though.
No.
Like, there was only one scene of the monster. They could have, done even, some other scene. Even just shadows of him, transferring into people. You know what I mean? Like,
something.
If you wanted to go... But it was basically a buddy cop film with aliens.
Yeah, and I mean, I like aliens. I like buddy cops. Like, it's I totally agree with you. It was more of a sci-fi action film than a horror, but I don't care because I had so much fun with this film. I have not seen it before, so for me, I came out feeling a little disappointed in myself that I couldn't give it my 100% attention because I was taking notes the whole time.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun. I will definitely be watching it again, and I'll probably make Liz watch it because I think she'd really get into it. I could have done with more gore. I could have done with more bug slug aliens. That would have been fantastic. But I guess on a budget of $5 million, you're kind of constrained to what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
I could make a movie for $1 million.
You could make one for $20.
I gave it a C. I
Yeah.
gave it a classic that's worth a watch because
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what it is. Like, I knew about it my whole life. They made a sequel.
They've
Apparently,
made a couple and a TV series.
it might not be. It was
No.
just a TV series I saw called The Hidden. It might
That's
not
fine.
even be about it.
I'm going to look it up when I get home. I gave this an A. I think it is awesome and everybody should
Oh.
watch. So we're very close. Very close.
Yeah, yeah.
Close but no donut. Yeah, I fucking check it out. Do
All right.
it.
What are we going to watch next week?
Okay, so based on the last week's episode where we talked about zombie films,
It got you all into it.
got me into it. We're going to watch Cooties.
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 That's good because actually I wanted to watch that after you mentioned it. That was one of the ones I hadn't seen. I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
ooh.
it's fun. It's
So after
zombies.
saying we don't like zombie films,
I know.
we realised that we like zombie
we've
films.
gone hard on zombie films. So Cooties 2014, we shall be checking that out.
Excellent.
Tune in. So thank you guys. You have been listening to TerrorVision Horror Podcast with Jan and Jennifer. We are available on all major podcasting services and also on the YouTube. But no matter where you choose to consume us, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment or a review, and make sure you share with all your friends. You can interact with us on both Facebook and Instagram at TerrorVision Pod. It'll keep you up to date with upcoming episodes, trivia, and of course memes that are definitely 3 years old by now. We also have an email, terrorvisionpod@gmail.com.
And remember, until next week, may all your dreams
Be nightmares.